Picture a man who can turn silence into an explosion just by opening his mouth. He steps into the spotlight, eyes wide, body vibrating like a live wire. He's not telling jokes so much as he's becoming jokes, a news anchor, a child, a villain, a stranger from another planet, sometimes all within the same breath. The crowd loses it. People cry laughing. They slap tables. They gasp for air. Now, cut to the moment after the show. The applause is gone. The lights are off. The hallway is empty. And that same man is suddenly alone with the one thing he can't outrun, the quiet. That man was Robin Williams. This is episode 1 in a series about Robin Williams. How someone who made the world laugh could carry an inner life so complicated, so intense, that even his closest friends were sometimes shocked by what they didn't see. In this episode, we're going to focus on the beginning. The lonely kid who learned to create characters the way other kids made friends. The young performer who got too electric to ignore. And the moment a single TV appearance turned him into a national phenomenon. Robin Williams was born July 21st, 1951, and he died August 11th, 2014. Robin didn't start out chasing fame. He started out chasing connection. There's a specific kind of loneliness that doesn't look dramatic from the outside. You can be safe. You can be provided for. You can have a roof, food, a comfortable life, and still feel like you're living in a house where your voice doesn't echo back. So Robin did what brilliant, restless kids sometimes do. He began building a world that could answer him. He practiced faces. He practiced voices. He practiced speed. Not just talking fast, but thinking fast, leaping from one idea to the next like he was trying to outrun the gap in his chest. And that became his first superpower. When the room felt empty, he could fill it instantly by becoming someone else. In 1973, Robin earned a full scholarship to the Juilliard School in New York, Group 6, 1973 to 1976. Juilliard doesn't reward almost. It's a place built to expose your weaknesses. But Robin's weakness was also his fuel. He was too fast, too intense, too unpredictable. At Juilliard, he became close with Christopher Reeve, and according to widely repeated accounts, they were the only two students selected by John Houseman for the school's advanced program that year. Reeve later described Robin's energy like watching a balloon get released, not floating gently, but ricocheting off walls, impossible to contain. And here's what matters. Juilliard didn't just train Robin. It gave him something psychological, permission to believe that the thing that made him different could be turned into craft. After Juilliard, Robin's path didn't go straight to Hollywood glory. He went to where comedy gets forged the hard way. Small rooms, cheap lights, and crowds that owe you nothing. In the mid-1970s, he began performing stand-up in the San Francisco Bay Area. And one place becomes almost mythical in the story, the Holy City Zoo. Tiny, intense, and influential. This wasn't a glamorous theater. This was a cramped room where a comedian could die in real time. If you bored the audience, they didn't politely clap. They talked. They drank. They turned away. So Robin didn't do polite. He came in like a storm. Rapid impressions, sudden characters, wild pivots, lightning turns. Years later, writers looking back on that era remembered him as part of the pulse of San Francisco. Comedy, and how the city, the scene, the clubs helped shape what he became. In entertainment, there's a brutal truth. Talent isn't enough. You have to be found. And Robin, in those club years, was becoming unmissable. Accounts from the comedy world describe producers and industry people seeing him and basically thinking, "What is this human being doing?" Television producer George Schlatter is often cited as one of the people who saw Robin's act and recognized he was something rare. The point isn't the exact room or the exact night. The point is that Robin's style was so explosive that people started telling each other, "You have to see this guy." And once that kind of whisper starts in show business, it spreads like fire. Then came the turning point. On February 28, 1978, Robin Williams appeared on Happy Days in an episode titled My Favorite Orkin. He played Mork, an alien from the planet Ork. Now, on paper, that could have been a silly one-off. But Robin didn't play Mork like a costume. He played Mork like a lens. A character who looks at human behavior and finds it strange, funny, and weirdly touching. And here's where Robin's genius shows up. He wasn't just delivering lines. He was injecting life into the spaces between them. Decades later, people who worked on Happy Days still talk about his imagination as volcanic, and how the scripts would be shortened to leave room for him to improvise. That episode hit so hard that it didn't stay a guest spot. It became the launchpad for Mork and Mindy, which aired on ABC from September 14, 1978 to May 27, 1982. Think about that speed. From club rooms to national television to a starring sitcom. In what feels like a blink. So why did people fall so hard for Robin Williams so fast? Because he didn't just make you laugh. He made you feel like you were sitting next to someone who noticed everything. The awkwardness, the longing, the ridiculousness of being human. His comedy wasn't cold. It was warmth moving at high speed. And even when he was playing an alien, the emotion underneath was completely human. A longing to belong, a curiosity about love, a desire to connect. That's what made Mork work. That's what made Robin Williams feel like more than a comedian. He felt like someone who could turn chaos into comfort. Episode 1 ends right here, at liftoff. Robin Williams is now a star. The spotlight is hot. The world is watching. But here's the question we're carrying into episode 2. If your gift is speed, if your mind is always running, what happens when the world starts demanding you run all the time? In episode 2, we'll go into the early cost of fame, the pressure of being on, and the first shadows that started creeping in behind the laughter. If you want episode 2 next, comment episode 2 and tell me what Robin Williams' role first made you fall in love with him.